Hello, Anjali. I can see your things. Aberna, Arefa. Would be nice to see your faces. Chai, if I pronounce this correct. We'll wait more or less 3 to 5 minutes to give a chance other to join us. It might be that the time difference also made people behind. Actually, for me, it also was surprised. I thought that I still have 1 hour more to call in. But it's good that we have small preparation before, so I'm here for you on time. So it's very much to the topic surrender to unknown. Girls, would you be so kind to maybe write in chat where you come from? How are you doing? Okay, Aberna from Chennai. Very nice. And Arifa from Hyderabad. With you, I will get no better Mother India. Let's use this moment when we're waiting for the others to just hear, sit down straight, to have the spine straight, and to the music, just flow. Relax yourself. Land here with us. We have more people coming in, so I'm giving 2 minutes more, and then we start it. Hi Chai, I can see that you are from Bangalore, very busy city. Very popular actually in Europe. Okay, I think we slowly start. Maybe, considering that we quite small group, I will present myself, and then it would be very nice to just see your faces, and if you are able to, please also unmute your phone and introduce yourself. Okay? So I will start first, and then we'll do a round of introduction for all women in the circle. Okay, my name is Agnieszka de Vries-Legierska, but I'm known mostly in the spiritual and tantra world as Aga. It's just easier for everybody to pronounce. When it comes to spirituality, I think I've been always there, but somehow the rational world was there. So I was very much integrated with the Western world for quite some time. But in some point, I have like longing and feeling that there is something more, that I have to discover something more than just rational, word, rational thinking. So in my early 30s, and actually I've been changing the country that I was living, it came to me that actually I would like to discover more about human sexuality. So it drives me to start the clinical sexology on university in Poland. Also behind that, I attend also yearly training of Gestalt psychotherapy. But I also were all the time, feeling that it's just not everything. That it's very scientific way of seeing our sexuality, and also I had strong feeling that the sexuality is not everything. So this longing of searching for more brings me to India 6 years ago. And on my way to India, or being already in India, I discovered Tantra. So together with Tantra, I've been also discovering the spiritual path. So it was not only concentration on my sexuality and sexuality of other human beings, but also discovering that there's something more. But through our sexual exploration, we can reach a higher state. I've been through many trainings of breath work, embodiment, sexual and women empowerment, and all kind of development training. Among them, Ananda Margot trainings, Maananda Sarita, and actually from Maananda Sarita I get no Mohini. I've been observing Mohini for many years now. Actually, it's 4 years already. And first time we just met online, as we're doing this right now, when actually pandemic starts. I've been at the time in Rishikesh in India, in the lockdown, and the plan was like really dive in and deep into spirituality, be in the India and attending the workshop, but also going to the temples and deepening more knowledge about Asian Tantra. So by this, somehow I was already more and more working with Mohini online as a participant. But at the beginning of the years, I saw that Mohini is offering the teacher training under Wonder Woman sign and platform. And that was this Green Tara teacher training, which somehow, without really knowing what I can expect, attracts me a lot. So just almost without thinking much, I just like bought ticket. Only a few days before the training was starting, I just bought a ticket to fly to India. Yes, and I attend the Green Tara teacher training that I graduated this year in March. And it was amazing and beautiful experience. what actually gave me, I think, of course, repetition of a lot of knowledge that I already had about breath work, embodiment, shadow work. But for me, what was important in the training of Green Tara teacher training was also the business approach, which means we also been shown and we learn how to work with the social media, how to talk on the camera, how to make a recording. So how also rooted us in this business approach. As we know, the online world explore and explode also so much. This is also the beautiful way to reach more people that only from your closest surroundings. Yeah, so what it gives me the most, I think, courage that I can step in finally after more than 10 years of studying, sharing already my workshop and coaching in the real life. But this is the point, to just step in on the front of the camera and talk to people and to bring practices to online world. And it was something that I was struggling a lot. For me, camera, it was just very much the point that I was freezing, that I could not express myself. So through, I think, this Green Tantra teacher training, and also after what was happening, which means the sister gathering, talking how we can bring also Wonder Woman alive. Through these steps, I am here with you, sharing what I learned, and also promoting Wonder Women in the way that you can be a part and receive our guidance and receive our gifts. But also, here is a huge invitation that you can step in to our circle. So you can become a leader. You can be the one who, instead of participating in the workshop, you can also be on the other side. So it's a very beautiful chance to step in if you have this desire also to the teacher role. I don't know if you saw already and you've been on the page. The Green Tara teacher training is happening in February, from 14 February to, let me see the dates, 27 February. So probably after this session, when it will be finished, Mohini and her team will share here the link. Also, by attending this circle, you will receive a discount that can be used for this training. So this is the way how I get here. The other opportunity to really step in physically to the Wonder Woman community, it's the Tantra Festival or Wonder Woman Festival, which is happening by the end of November. I do believe it's also a beautiful experience for each of you to really explore your femininity, explore your feminine power. Also, what is very important, the sisterhood. I think in the current world, this sisterhood community disappear. So it's a very beautiful way to connect once again, to be seen, to be supported, to be here, and what is important also to be healed within so many women that are joining and exploring their world and community. So also after this session, we will share the link. Also with discount, there is another opportunity that you would like to explore a bit more about yourself and join the community. There is a chance. Okay, I think we are with 5 other sisters. So I would like to invite you to just open camera and just like with 2-3 sentences, just present yourself and say something about yourself and what do you may be expecting from this session.
Hey, I'm Chaitra. I'm joining from Bangalore. I was part of last year's Wonder Women Festival, and it was really amazing. I think that sort of kicked off my healing journey, and I'll try to join in this time as well. But let's see. I'm excited for this session today.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I wish to join. Let's see. It's still, under discussion. But I know, with one of the events under, Evolve Healing, probably, I will participate. But great to hear that you already, have taste of the community, and I'm very happy that you are here with us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Is there anybody else to introduce herself and just share how you are and what do you maybe expecting or awaiting from this session? Okay, Arefa is between the chores. Okay. Anjali, do you want to try?
Hi, so I was also part of the Wonder Woman Festival last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I've not been able to join any of the circles before, and today is a very good portal day too, so I just joined in. I'm actually traveling, so but I
Okay.
really wanted to join in, so I'm here.
Yeah. Beautiful. Despite that you are
Yeah.
in between on travel, that you've been able to join us. Okay. Um, I see Asha Sharma. Are you with us? Are you able to open the camera and just say a few words about yourself? Okay. I don't hear any response, so let's hope the Asha Sharma is it's there with us. Yeah. So with this, I would like to come to the topic of our session today. The session today is about surrounding to the unknown. And I think many of us hear about this, but actually, at least for me, for many years, was really difficult to name it. What actually means surrounding to itself? I could feel it. I could feel it, in my chest. I could feel it, in my belly when I'm in the surrounder. But I could not really, explain it by the words. And be honest, I asked my husband recently to see, how he just, approached this topic. And how he can see it from the male's perspective, but it's not so much about the energies, but yeah, men are a bit better with, I think, explaining those things and yeah, name it and make a definition. At least this is, my feeling. Uh, I think more I'm just explaining and translating the word to myself by feeling, intuition, and yeah, body experience. So how we could define the surrounded to the unknown. So I think it is internal state when you do things without resistance. I would call it also this is the state of internal peace. And I think this word internal, it's very important to underline it because the outer world, everything what is happening, in external, it might be crazy, it might be very chaotic, but it's about in what states I am inside. So this is the state when I'm fully in peace. This is the state that I'm fully in acceptance of the situation that it's happening. And by this is that I don't have resistance, that I'm not acting from the resistance. So as an example to this what I said, maybe we can say, what is the state when, for example, you had a lot of plans of doing like some sport or just going out for walk, or even going to job, and you were expecting that there will be sun outside, but you're getting up at the morning time and you see that actually it's really raining outside. So we can, take it from two approach, like take an umbrella, going out and just like, constantly judging the situation. That it's very wet, that it's very, cold, that, I'm just getting dirty. But still I have to go to work. So the complaints, the judgment actually do not helping me. Actually, it's create even more resistance to whatever, has to come. And if we are in the surrender, by seeing that the weather is how it is, I can decide and say, okay, this is how it is. I don't have control on it. But I still have to go to work. So I can just like take my umbrella and just go out and just like, be with it, with the peace. So mainly I think this is, surround to the unknown. Despite I don't know what is the future, or despite what is happening here now, I'm just staying in the state of peace. I do not fight internally. I do not resist internally. And I think what I would like to add to that, what actually was my struggle, still, like 6 years ago when we were talking about the surrounding to unknown, I was thinking that actually surrounded to unknown, it's just like being in peace and not doing nothing. So whatever is happening outside, that it's happening, and I'm just like looking and I'm an observer, and this is my surrounding to the situation. I'm not getting upset, but also I'm not getting involved. So it was halfway to it. So again, I'll be repeating, it's about internal alignment, lack of the resistance to the situation, but still in external world, we acting on it. Of course, if it's needed, because some situations do not need any action. But I think I would like to really underline that it's not like being in the peaceful state, in the lotus position and just like observing the world. And this is something that do not touch me. Okay. Is there any question to it? You can also write it in the chat. So if I will see it, I will try to respond to them. But also after the session, there will be maybe space for sharing. And if some question arise also, we'll have this possibility. Okay. What else when it comes to it? I think what is important to mention that while we're getting, to this state of peace, I think it's required some practice. And I'm not saying this is one workshop, two workshop. I think it's everyday practice for a whole life. And we tend to, sometimes fail in it. If I can say it is failing, because it's not really failing. We are human beings. We have our emotion, we have our experience, and many times we act on them. So this is actually a very long way to come to the moment that you can say that I get to the surrounded state permanently. At least I don't know anybody. I know there are like a lot of gurus, teachers that are very close, but by observation, I can also see that, sometimes even these people need to back to discipline to just be in the surrounding state. So during this long journey, how do we cope with emotions, feelings, behaviors that actually are on, appearing in the moment of unknown? Yeah, so what is unknown is unknown. And there is, full acceptance if we just achieve this state and full of peace internally. However, it might happen that we'll be behaving in the way that many of us actually does. We have mechanisms on which we just acting. And probably some of you could hear already that we have few behaviors. I will name three of them. I think I'm bringing them because they are like the most important. This is 3F for me. So freeze, fly, and fight. So what actually are those states? In this freeze state, this is reaction for, I don't know, huge fear, some trauma situation, some unexpected, situation. This is the moment that we stop doing anything. So it might be that we freeze physically and we just stop and we don't do nothing, and our reaction for an event that is happening, we just don't talk and we just sit and we just like completely switch off. But also it might be that internally, you just don't think like you want to, make any action. And many of us cope with it, that still doing outside a lot and naming, yes, I'm doing the thing, but actually we don't do the thing that should be in this moment, in place. The action that should be, in this moment in place. And saying action doesn't have to be exactly the action, but it might be like, okay, I'm feeling inside that I freeze, so I will stop actually the action, but I still will be searching inside of me why I froze internally, what actually is happening there. Can I really, do something to bring hidden thing to the light and maybe act on them, or maybe not. So this is, very much, fresh situation. And maybe in the old time world when we were living in the cave, that was needed when enemy came or where animal came. But I think in our world, I think now we are not so much related to those risks that we have, before. So the freeze, it might help, but actually many times it's just the coping mechanism. The next behavior that we have when we are like in unknown and there is this internal resistance, it might also that we are coming to the fight state. So there is no acceptance what is, really happening. We want to protect ourselves. We want to prove ourselves and the others that yes, we can, do the things despite it's not really needed. So I don't know. Fighting, it can be, and I don't want to, talk about, of course, like a regular fight that you just getting attacked, because if it's happened, it's very needed at that moment. But more about, I don't accept some situation, and I will show off that I can do something about that I control the situation. I will put a lot of effort to just like really, really get situation into control. So the example that is coming to me right now is, for example, I have this idea of living in abundance and creating comfortable life for me and my family. And to reach that, I will be constantly working. So not only, with timeline that actually it's just given by our employer, but I'll be working even more and even more and even more and bring more and more and more energy for become, very rich. But actually, by also my own experience, but also people that I know, even if you have a lot, if you have a beautiful house, a car, and career, you still, for example, internally can feel like you are not happy. Feel that actually, I have all those goods, but internally I'm shaking. I'm afraid that I will, not survive. And actually working a lot, it's my coping mechanism. So a fight. Or the first state is it will be also the fly state. So run away from the situation. So again, the example that I gave you about the work, it can be also the fly coping mechanism, which means I'm not sitting with myself. I'm not checking with myself why I don't feel safe. Why I'm thinking that I cannot survive, why I'm thinking that I will not have food, why I'm thinking that I will not have money to pay bills. So instead of sit down with myself and just check what is really underneath, what actually maybe my experience or my family experience create this pattern, I will be like working a lot and working from the fear state. So this is also, some mechanism that we coping. So being in unknown, it's not easy thing. But I think we have a lot of tools and embodiment practice where we can support ourselves to, become in surrender to unknown, to be in the state of internal peace. Whatever is happening in outside here, we are in peace. We can rely on ourselves. Okay, so this is, what we have from talk about that. I don't know. Are there any question on the way? Or should we go to embodiment practice? You can write it down if you would like to. As we say, we are just a few people in the camera, so we can also ask questions directly. Okay, no questions. I think I would like to invite you right now to take a piece of paper and we'll have like 5 minutes of writing down everything that in our life appeared in the moment of unknown. All kinds of behaviors, coping mechanisms, uh, feelings, behaviors that you think is something that didn't make you in the situation happy with yourself, that you regret something. Maybe you act too much to somebody. Maybe you said something that you just don't like. So please take a pen, and now we'll have 5 minutes for just writing down all those situations, experience, emotion, and feelings which arise in the moment that we just don't know. Okay. Can we have music for this 5 minutes? And after that, we will do embodiment practice. No, not this one. First, please, one. First song still. Yeah, a bit louder, please. Okay. So 5 minutes to write it down, whatever it appears in you right now, and all experience from the past of acting or feeling in the situation of unknown. So once again, we're just writing down a feeling that appear in the unknown situation, a behavior that might be we don't want anymore, thoughts that make us suffer. Put everything down. All things that we would like to rid of. The things that are suppressed, hidden, not seen. By writing this down, we bring them to the light. Okay. Please slowly wrap it up. I'm giving last 15 seconds to write down last words on the paper. Okay, we are done with this exercise. Yeah, I think for me, this paper is just something that it's already in the past. So after this session, you can burn it. You can just throw it out because it's something that already is away and behind us. And right now, I would like to do the an embodiment practice, which actually can help you in the situation that you just have a lot of resistance or stress when it comes to unknown situation. So thank you, Tai, that you just share it here, that you feel that your procrastination is heavily tied up to the trauma response, and it might be the thing, but also yes, maybe a new situation brings so much fear in you that you just actually going to this freeze mode. So the procrastination for me might be also the behavior really related to the freeze mode. So I'm not acting on it. Maybe even outside you can work, you can just meet friends or whatever, but still internally you just not do the things that you really would like to do or you are passionate for. So the practice that I bring in now, it's just short version of the practices that are, in the spiritual world, tantra world. It's basically very similar to the Osho dynamic meditation. However, I like to do it, with a bit different way. But again, it's the dynamic meditation are one of the best in my experience to really, deal with those patterns, those behaviors like freeze, flight, or fight. We just really connecting with our emotion, with our body. We just bring everything what is hidden up and we just release it. And by this, we can just, go to the surrender mode. And of course, it is not happening after one practice, but it's not even, happening after 5 years practice. It takes time and discipline, but it's really, helping you out to, in this moment, dealing with, stress, feeling, resistance that you're feeling, inside. So if you take care of it by yourself, then you can really more and more surround to the situation. So if the new situation will arise, which will be not exactly the same, but very similar, you know how to embrace them, how to deal with them, as we have many tools to do it. So I will bring the embodiment work, which consists 4 stages. First stages will be very heavily breathing. We're doing this to really activate our body. So chai is very, beautiful way in the moment that you have procrastination to breathe, but also to move, our body during this breathing. So in this one, maybe I will just move a bit myself, and I just maybe put this on the table so I can, show you a bit demo. So with this heavy breathing, also it's very important in this exercise that we can also move our body. And there is no specific way how you have to do it, because when we just do this breath, actually, our body already taking, the energy from the earth to the sky through our, chakra system. But also, I think it's very good in this moment, like to activate the breath and activate everything what is, hidden in our body, in our internal world, and arise to the light. It's good to move. So it's good to just move your pelvic. It's good also to maybe strongly, step in from one side to the other. So it's very, good for activate ourselves. The second stage, after this 6 minutes of very heavy breathing, we will go to the released phase. And what actually release phase is? It can be scream. If you have such possibility, you can, scream. The only thing which is very, important, just scream from the belly side, not from the throat, because after 6 minutes of shouting from your throat, probably you will not have possibility to talk anymore, at least next day. So the proper shout or the proper emotion release, it's coming, from the belly. So how really to do to release whatever it arises after, the phase 1 of the breathing. So you can just like take your fist, bend your knees and just shout. But it might be that for you will be, very convenient just to take pillow and shout inside. I think there is no, one way to do it, and probably you know a lot. Also, I don't know, if you just feel that you are angry or whatever, you can really like take the pillow and you can put on your knees and just punch it. But also, and I would like to put my floor in, you can take 1 pillow or 2 pillows, and you can really, with this part of the arm, punch it. Just remember, be careful with the fist and with your wrist. We're punching with this part. So you can do it with 1, you can go with 2 if you like to. You can shout again. You can do. You can do the move. We also have it from your pelvic, so it can be this move if you like to. But also, maybe you feel like to lay down, and it's important that you have 2 pillows or something that will protect your hands, and like a baby, make a release. And I think you don't see me here, so we'll just do it a bit lower. So I'm here. So I have pillow here. So I'm like bumping on the floor and on the pillows. Just very much, it's important that you just bump on the pillow, yeah? So if you're preparing your space for it, it's also very good. But any kind of movement that brings you to the release, it's very welcome. Every emotion, every thought which coming with this release, it's very welcome. So this phase will take around also 6 minutes. And then we go into the next phase, and we're calling this child state. So it's the moment then we just embracing everything that show up in the previous stage. So this is the moment that you lay down, you will have beautiful music around, and you will connect yourself to the moment that we just in, to here and now. And the next stage is the stage of celebrating, of curiosity, of creation. So this is 4 stages that we will go for it. Okay, so I think everything we have prepared. Are any questions to it? Okay, so I think we can start. Chai, you just disconnect. Do you have some questions?
No. I'm
Okay.
doing it right now.
Okay, so I hope you have pillows next to you, and we are ready for the exercise. Okay, we can switch music. So from 2 to 5 songs all together, and please put volume up. Louder, please. Even more. A bit more, like we really want to hear it to help us for exercise. Okay, so we start breathing. Through the nose. We breathe in and breathe out. And concentrate on breathing out. Body will naturally take you to the inhale. A bit more power to it. Like energy that wants to come out with your voice, you can also do it. It's very welcome. Again, you just activating ourselves, but whatever is arising, it's very welcome. Step from one side to the other and continue breathing. I can see that the one person joined in. We're doing now breathing phase of meditation. The Next one will be released, and after coming to the integration, so please join us. So now we do strong breathing in and out, but concentrate on breathing out, and just to Italy will come to naturally. It has to be very energizing, very strong, so just go for it, and even if you think that you just can't ignore, just go for it. There is still much more space to do it. The release. I need music a bit louder than this. Go again. You can shout, and you remember that you just make it out from the belly, just from the throat. Yeah, you can just like have your fist closed. You can hand on your knees and just shout. You can also out to the pillow. You can also hit the pillow. You can also
illustrated. I'm a fire starter, twisted fire starter. You're the fire starter, twisted fire starter. I'm a fire starter, twisted fire starter.
All pain, all you. What's your procrastination?
On the fix you hated. Infatuated. Yeah. On the plate you tasted, belly intoxicated. I'm a fire starter, a twisted fire starter. You're the fire starter, twisted fire starter.
Oh, stop. And again, the next one. Go for it. This is a lot of fun. Okay, last again. And now we're going to the next stage. Lay down and breathe and experience yourself. If you need a you can give a hug to yourself this way. Or maybe you can take a pillow if you don't want to take your pillow and fully lay in the experience. Move yourself. Your head. Move your arms. Slowly wrap it up. You can, or you can just dancing and standing. Just slowly bring yourself to stillness inside. And now we're going to the silence, so please no music. You can sit down or you can stand if you're already standing. And just be in the silence and observe. Slowly open your eyes. Breathe in, breathe out with the sound. Do it once again. You can a bit shake it off if you feel like that. And this way we complete our practice. So this kind of body work actually can be done, as you know, with many phases and 1 hour, even half meditation. But also you can always just make it short if you have less time. So I do believe 15 minutes, 20 minutes every day, it's something that would support you to deal with the reality, to actually reach the peace and surrounding to the unknown. Okay, we have a few minutes left, so I'm opening now the space for sharing. So if you would like to share your experience or anything else that you would like to share it, please open your camera and just share something with us. Chai, do you want to start?
Yeah, sorry, there's fireworks in the background.
We don't hear it, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, that was a really great practice. I think, like, does it also help in resolving shame? Like this embodiment practice, like, will it help in that?
Okay, so what I understand, it helps you to resolve the shame. Is it
Yeah,
correct?
I mean, will it help resolve shame?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I think this practice, it's each of them, each of dynamic meditation, it's a really empowering one, and every time that we're do it. It's just yeah, bring a lot of hidden things to the surface, and by that you can also heal them. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah.
But yeah, as well, like also it's good to do those kind of practices without any expectation, because it might be that it will be just like giving oxygen to your body.
Hmm.
But on the lower level, actually a lot of it's shifting, so not always we are really conscious what actually may shift with us, but always there is some plus in doing those meditation. And when it comes to shame, yeah, I think to showing up and to this practice, it's also very healing, because like, yeah, in this meditation we are not such beautiful women, and a lot of ugly things can come out.
Okay. Okay.
Do you want to share or ask anything else?
No, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for the session.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, so maybe I will share my experience. Yeah, I was like really thinking if I should bring, this practice to the online, because yeah, for a long time I was thinking it's not possible to do it. Uh, but yeah, I think it was quite good experience, also for me. And despite we don't have so many participants, uh, it's also for me very important to see that being for the others, it doesn't depend how many people is there. If it's 1 or 2 person or hundreds, actually it's the same practice for me and the same guidance. So also it's good to have this experience. And Jai, thank you very much that you just stay with me till the end of this practice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Namaste. We're closing this
Namaste.
session. Thank you, Anne Lorraine, for your help.